Welcome to Shadow Tamers. This is our weekly recap where we usually will go into the new releases for the next upcoming set in Japan and talk about things like that. But today we are actually here with Ji, who took third in a cash tournament not too long ago, and our very own Bryce here, who took 8th place in that same tournament. So we're going to talk a little bit about what their strategies were going in and all of the things about how to go about tournaments, how to prepare, and what to look out for. So, without further
Omnimon.
ado, yeah. How bad is
Uh,
Omnimon?
hello. I guess I'm G. So hello.
G, and then we already know Cyber is our very own Bryce.
Man,
I love being able to taste all that salt coming from you, Bryce.
boy, where you at though? Where'd you
Boy,
come? Did you even show up?
boy, sorry, I got work to take care of, but
Oh man, word.
since you want to talk all that big talk, how about you let us know what your experience was in this past tournament?
I showed up playing purple,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was an Omnimon player.
Mm-hmm.
I tried not to get Omnimon, but I got Omnimon.
So this Omni player, would it happen to be G?
Nah, first one was playing blue.
Okay.
Then the next one was G.
Ah,
And then the next one was a red again. So
Red Omni.
I mean,
all the decks
your
you
last.
played against Omni.
I mean, Bryce. To be fair though, the last one you played, what didn't really use Omnimon.
but he got it out both games.
Yeah.
He didn't really use Omnimon, but he used it on me.
I mean, if you got the card to use it on someone, why not use it if it's gonna work in your favor?
Oh, I didn't say he was bad for using it. I just hate that he used it.
I mean, hey, I hate when you use Devimon on my Omnimon, but it happens, you know.
That's just the pot calling the kettle black. You played the Omnimon first. You screwed me over. I have to go back and screw you over.
True, true. But I mean that all comes with just knowing the matchup of, hey, do I think you have Devimon or what's it called? The other one. Trump sword.
I don't know about that because there's a lot of people out here main decking Volcandramons to kill all my rookies.
Yeah, I mean you are very susceptible to that, and it's just good in general against Rookie Rush.
What was that? That one meme that was posted. What was it? I give my opponent 10 memory. My opponent plays 6 rookies. I play Volcanotron. My opponent just goes, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, that's
That would
definitely
be the
what
one,
happened.
yeah. I mean,
But sorry, Brandon, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, it's an accurate meme about the whole thing because it's pretty much how it goes. You just play Volcandramon or other cards like that, and just basically deletes Rookie Rush out the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's got to be able to time it correctly, though.
Yeah.
yep. It's definitely Rookie Rush, as brain dead as some people might call it. It is. You do need to have the patience to play it because if you go too wide, you will get hit by that volcanic Dramon usually, and you don't really have good draw power with that
No.
deck. So we
I know.
definitely.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I mean, you definitely have to be careful on how wide you are going.
I mean, I know some people have been playing the one drop evolution for champions, like the Dark Tyrannomon for red and stuff like that, just to avoid that happening.
True. I mean, I saw on a post earlier this morning talking about playing Gorillamon or something else. I forgot another cheap cost evolution card just
Yeah,
to
just to
avoid that power.
Yeah, just to get out of that range.
I mean, it is what it is. Rookie Rush is holding strong, definitely. And it definitely made a resurgence in the Japanese formats recently. But all right, so Bryce, you said your matchup spread was just blue and then red omnis, essentially.
Exactly.
What about UG?
I went black. Yeah, it was black, purple, and then
Black,
Black,
red,
purple,
purple.
and then blue.
yes. So it was black blockers, obviously. Then
Okay.
it was against Bryce next. And then, funny enough, my next opponent was the one that beat Bryce in the first round. So I played against that blue.
Oh man, that must have been fun. Did you at least get revenge for Bryce by beating the blue player?
Yeah, that matchup was kind of interesting because unfortunately, it was one of those situations where it was unfortunate for him. Built the correct line. He went to Digi-mon to get ready to go into Omegamon.
Mm-hmm.
But he took the bet of swinging, and unfortunately, I believe he hit my. I think he hit my. No. The first game was he went to Melgarurumon, got his blocker out of his source during the swing, and then Phoenixmon was my first security check, so he lost his Melgreymon.
Ooh.
So that disturbed his whole tempo in the game.
Yeah.
And so from there, I was able to just keep control.
Yeah, it definitely hurts losing your Metal Gurumon like that due to power. But
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think it happened twice too in that game, and then our next game it happened again.
yeah, it's definitely rough. Like when we were playing that matchup, if Vice won with that Metal Gurumon, I was definitely scared.
Yeah,
Most of the time, especially because I could just run into a Gaia Force as well. Um, but I mean, that's the risk you take with it, especially playing Omni.
Well, yeah, but
Like,
that's like saying for any of the decks for running a card like that, because if you have Gaia Force, you should always know a Gaia Force is an opportunity. If you're building up only one Digimon all the way up and you're trying to stack that up, you have to take into account that you're always going to have that as a possibility for something like that. Or what is the one, the for yellow, there's, if somebody were playing yellow, even the Magna Tornado would just immediately delete the rest of your security attack for the rest of the turn. You get
oh
one
yeah,
attack in, and then it just obliterate the rest of your Digimon from attacking anything. So it's always a possibility, risk and high risk, high reward if you go in for attack if you can't guarantee the kill that turn.
that's true. I mean, I'm sure it would have, as just the way the game is with security checks, it's the risk you take. You're always running a risk when you swing at your opponent.
yeah. I mean, it just evolves into almost like a high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
These
But
guys sometimes just risk it or not. It's just a tough call. Or if you're occasionally 18K DP Digimon, you got nothing to worry about.
Yeah,
that's true.
oftentimes
I
not
mean,
with not at least not from security Digimon. The most you have to worry
no,
about are all those security option cards popping.
unless you're Wargreymon from the set, and then you don't worry about the option cards.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, but
But then again, you just run the risk of running into a higher DP Digimon. But all
Yeah.
right, so
Mhm.
that was your guys' spread. What about day two? What was day two?
Oh no, that
spread
was
like?
day two. That was day two.
Oh, that
Actually.
was day two. Okay,
Yeah, day two
okay.
was I lost to black, one against purple, one against blue. Day two. That was day two. day one was I won against purple, lost against purple, and then won against blue.
Okay.
I actually got third place on the first day too, so I just got third place all around.
Oof, interesting. What about you, Bryce?
Okay.
How was your day one looking?
Fantastic. I went undefeated.
I see now. All right. So what?
What'd you
How
end
did
up
you
facing
guys?
against? For
Oh, nothing.
oh, nothing.
Yeah, he's part of the. Yeah, just
Oh.
we know what happened there, but so that means how did you prepare for day two then, Bryce?
That is a great question. And all I want to say is yes.
Okay. So nothing's changed from how you would prepare in buddy fight. Got it.
So, well, I guess we were talking about this earlier. So, because you went in without side deck, right?
No,
Yes.
he had a side deck. He just didn't plan what the side deck was.
Yeah. So I
So what
guess
was
what
his side
what
deck?
was the plan going into that for like slapping it together?
Don't lose to Omnimon.
Uh-huh.
So I just
Got it.
threw in all the Dark Masters.
Ah, interesting.
Okay, that's
I
fair.
mean, it works.
I mean, I never sided anyway, so
Okay. What an interesting mindset to have.
I mean, like it's an
siding
interesting
doesn't seem the
concept.
greatest.
No, I mean it seems okay. I mean, I guess there's ways to do it, but like, why I've at least talked with some other people, it's always been somewhat like almost the same type of stuff they always sideboarding. Like I've seen people talk about the manager mon that gives you the extra security if you're low, facing against them, Mega Machine Dramon, and so forth. It seems to be almost the same strategy for everyone.
Interesting. So what about you, G then?
Sideboarding wise, I kept my deck pretty simple. I haven't really changed out that was in my deck. I may have like increased the amount of Dramons I use, or swapped in my ties, base set ties, not the starter deck ties. The one fix my memory.
Okay.
But other than that, it didn't feel any different, I guess. But I guess those are just minor changes, so it's not like a big change.
So was there anything you were really worried about running into? Except for purple, I believe.
Yeah.
You said it before. That was your most difficult matchup, right?
Sorry, what was that?
So purple was your most difficult matchup, I believe, right?
Sort of. I had to like purple. I had to play differently, I guess. Like usually I tend to like play a little bit like as city or pace, but with purple, I sometimes have to feel like I have to go a little bit faster, just because like they're gonna have Devimon, Chimeramon, Trump Sword, or Heat Vipers. Like, well, my Digimons are going to die regardless, so I might as well just make the most of it and just swing whenever I can.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
Well,
yeah, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, I also like I stated that I play Omegamon Red, but or Omnimon Red, however you pronounce his name. But at the same time, I just had the mindset of there's a good chance I won't get to play Omegamon at all. So it's like might as well just not worry about the swing.
Okay. I like that mentality. Bryce, so would you say Omnimon was your most worried matchup?
I think that's everyone's like worried matchup. Like, who's not scared of Omnimon?
I mean,
Not
that's
wrong.
true. Or we are in set 1.0. Well, English set 1.0, where
Yeah.
Omni kind of gets to run rampant.
I mean,
Yeah.
there are some things that we have with our version of 1.0 that's just like there are more checks for Omnimon than I think there were when he was released in the Japanese version of the game, or with whatever set he came out in. So there's more of a balance to it, I think.
Because in Japan, purple and black didn't come out into their second set, so they didn't have access. So no one had like the Devimons until or any of it.
That's also true.
Yeah, because I think there's always that concern because I'm just scrolling through the different Digimon TCG pages right now, and that's always like everyone's concern is still talking about Omnimon and that it's pretty much the best deck out there right now. But with anything, it's not tier 0. It's beatable if you know how to play your cards right.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's ways around it. If it happens, there's nothing you can do about it. But it's like you definitely do things to make it so that it slows them down a little.
I mean, we saw there was a player that was doing really well with yellow also in the webcam tournaments. Oh no, not the webcam tournaments, the top cut webcam tournaments. I believe True Champion Steve performed really well with the yellow builds.
Oh yeah. Like yeah, I mean I believe right now yellow can only do security recovery, but yeah, if you can like outlast like say I don't know.
Hello?
Sorry, you cut out there for a second, G.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no. I'm just saying that with yellow right now, it's like it's akin to with the whole just recovering yourself as much as possible. So if you play it correctly, you can outlive a Omegamon.
And I've seen talks about it being good against Rookie Rush if you go through minus DP builds as well.
Yeah.
Well, because we played a game on Chrono Battler today, and you saw how much minus DP you can have running on that deck, even with all the extra attacks that you'd be getting out if you are using those Digimon like Angelwomon and you're digivolving up. Now you're recovering as much as you're losing, but I got it to what? Minus 6,000 DP for my security, or plus 6k DP for my security Digimon.
TK.
That would have just immediately deleted any.
And with Contorfmon right now, to be able to also minus security attack Digimon, that also causes a little bit more of a hindrance where I can't swing at you as much as I would like to. But alright, so would you guys say that side decking is not necessary then, since that was a hot topic for a bit with players?
I don't think it's as necessary as people may believe.
Yeah, it's not necessary. Like at best, I think 5, fine. 10 was a little bit too much. Like as I said, I built, I did the whole 10. I didn't use it all.
Okay.
I used maybe like 2 or 3 cards at the time.
Interesting. So, what about also the other hot discussion of needing a mulligan?
I've seen there was that one video where someone talked about how I think it was either China or Malaysia, I forget which, where they did host a tournament with mulligan. It seemed pretty interesting. I mean, they had the mulligan. The only problem is because of the way the game's ruled, you have to set up security and then your hand. And so for mulligan to work, you would have to. I think they did a whole mulligan, so they had to put back not only their hand but their security, and then redo security and redraw hand.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
essentially you have to do 10 again.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't touch the security, that would mean you have 5 less cards to work with to shuffle as well.
So yeah, I mean, other than, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to say because they're like, I understand some people's like gripe of like, oh man, my opening hand sucks. You know, I gotta play this 5-drop opening game. I've been in plenty of games where I had to drop like a 5 or 7 onto the field, and I still came back around with.
Oh no,
It's
Well, I feel
It's
like
not the
in this
worst
game
thing
you
to
can
do.
be more strategic about it, because just because you're giving your opponent X amount of memory over what they would have gotten normally if you had that perfect opening hand, you're just digivolving up to maybe champion at most, unless you're gonna be able to make it work with adding something else in.
Yeah.
I think I think a mulligan could work. I think it's fine, but I also think it's fine without having it.
No, I haven't been. I like personally, I don't think. But
Sorry,
yeah,
you cut out again,
yeah, you
G.
cut out a
Oh,
little
sorry,
bit.
sorry. I don't know what's happening. But yeah, I personally don't. I mean, I can see the benefits of it, but at the same time, it's like just because you don't get a good opening hand doesn't mean you can't come back around.
Oh no,
Yeah,
definitely. Because
for
one
sure.
of the other biggest things is like, let's say you have to play a mega or an ultimate. It just means you get to hit your mega possibly sooner than your opponent if they, depending on what deck, obviously as well. Because
Yeah.
like if we're talking about Omni Turbos, then they can hit it off. What's the lowest cost it would take? It would be
It's the
5.
5 Gondramon, yeah.
Yeah, to hit Mega for both red and blue, and then so with just 5 memory, that's all they need. Um, but it also applies a little bit more pressure because now your opponent has to wonder, do they want to deal with the card that you just hardcasted, or do they just want to work on their own line instead?
Yeah, and I mean, you never know too, because then you might have gotten a bad hand, but your opponent might have also had that same thing happen. So like, it also depends on what they get, because if your opponent ends up, you hardcast, let's say, ultimate, and then your opponent's turn comes around, they have nothing but rookies in their hand. They got shorted, and they just have rookies and high cost option cards in their hand. Well, now they can't
Yeah,
really catch up to you, so they're behind and you're further ahead, which goes back to your point. It's like you can set up quicker for those late game, mid to late game cards that are gonna really decide which way this goes.
Which is why I'm fine with that having a, like I haven't seen any issues. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you get a shit hand. What can you do about it?
Yeah.
what about you, Bryce?
I mean, you can technically play with any hand, so
Yep.
I don't see the need of mulligan. Like, it's not like Vanguard, where
No.
some hands are unplayable.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not like Magic, where if you don't have mana, you actually don't do anything.
Yep. And thanks to the power of the memory gauge being like the main resource for this game.
I think the fact that it's a shared resource and it kind of pulls one way or the other depending on what you're playing, I think that kind of negates the need for us to have a mulligan for the TCG. I would understand if you had to use your own resources that are only available for your own deck and your opponent doesn't get anything from that, but for the fact that you're both sharing essentially the same casting resource, it changes the dynamic because it's more strategic, or you're able to be more strategic with a bad hand than relying on dumb luck. Because if you're just playing low cost things and your opponent doesn't have a tamer that's gonna bump them back up to 3 memory if they're below 3 memory. Then you can just constantly short them every time and build up your board state. Especially if you're doing Rookie Rush, you can just keep playing those cards as long as they're kind of generally keeping you closer to that 2 to 3 memory every time. Or if you put your own tamers down. So I think it's more. The system lends itself more to being strategic with bad hands, and it's not luck based like a lot of the other TCGs that are out there right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, um, yeah.
Did you
I
forget to write
mean,
down all of the topic points?
no, I was gonna say because my next question was gonna be if you thought best of three was like good for the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I think best of three is just good in general, to be honest. Like, especially I think with Digimon, this type of game, I think a best of three should just be like a mandate, just because it's like just because based on what your hand is, it can just change how the outcome of how it plays out.
Yeah,
So I think best of three is probably what I would just do. Just like reason again, because there is those times where you just get that really awful hand and there's no redraw or fix or so. So giving the person another chance, like I believe the webcams were also like best of threes, right?
yes.
Yeah.
The best of three just I believe like 45 or 50-minute rounds as well.
Yeah, like your typical best of three rounds. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
that's perfectly fine. I don't see why it has to be anything less than that.
Yeah. Bryce, did you like the best of three?
I mean, I feel like it gives you more of a chance to go first if you want to go first, or go second if you want to go second.
Yeah, I think I myself didn't had the time to catch the webcams. What was it like? The loser gets to choose who goes first, or the loser goes
Uh,
first?
I wasn't watching full matches, so I couldn't tell you
Okay.
that in full honesty.
Because I think the rule will accept that the loser chooses.
The loser
So
chooses.
at least in the official rulebook that was posted, I believe says this. So
I
that was a thing they did still, or
I would
not.
assume so, because the other thing is that's in general that's how we also play for locals. We just kind of
Just
when we play in
or once
sets,
they'll ask.
yeah, amongst ourselves we ask whoever lost if
If
they
they
want
want
to
to go
go first
first
or
or second.
second. Because I mean, it also helps the person who just lost to get like also like all right like um it helps them.
I can recover just a bit.
Yeah, because let's say they wanted to go first, match one, lost, um, um, and then end up choose like they ended up going second on the match they lost. So now they get the choice to go first if they prefer also playing first, or
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
their deck performs better when they go first also. But I don't know. I mean, I always preferred in like that
Yeah.
myself.
I think best of two is not best of twos. But best of
No.
threes is probably what this definitely needs to be honest.
Oh yeah, it gives both players a chance to also if they got again like with the mulligans we were talking about, if they got a bad hand, it gives them a second chance to be able to make up for it.
Yeah, because it
Because
doesn't
that
make sense to just do best of one. Because that's not indicative of what your deck actually can do, what your playstyle is. Because it's like, well, now it really is just down to luck. because that's not how you would test something. If you're playtesting a deck, you play it multiple times because the result can be different over that whole period, and like one deck can win enough to beat the other deck, or vice versa. I think it's better. Best of ones is just a ludicrous concept to me. I've seen tournaments like that. It's
Yeah,
like,
and then if you
there's too many
do,
people. That's why you do
if
it.
you do best of one, you're not gonna need the full like 45-minute.
No, I think it's the rulebook says it's like 5 minutes or something.
For 25.
Best of one. Yeah, I think the event rulebook covered that. Like if it's best of one, it's like 25 minutes. Best of three, 45 minutes with like 5-minute overtime.
Yeah, I see 25 minutes being good enough time for
Best
one
of one.
match. Yeah. But then, all right. And then another thing everybody was talking about was also tournament pricing and how much the entry fee should be, since there was a good amount of players that were complaining about paying $25 for the webcam tournament.
But they chose to pay $25 to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always a choice. You don't have to enter.
Oh no.
Yeah. I think it depends on the person. That's more of like a personal thing of, do you value what your potential reward could be if you get into the top 4 for that tournament, or whatever the prizes start to get.
Or
wherever
also
the prizes start, like, is it worth the cost to you? If it means your $25 goes to, if everybody gives in $25, there's like 24 players, and that means the prizes are much better versus $5 a pop for everybody, and it's kind of like lackluster stuff. Oh, first place gets 3 packs, and everybody else doesn't get anything.
The way I see that though is, for most card games, they'll give you your entry pack.
Yeah.
They'll give you the entry pack for your $5 that you put in, and then you have the potential to win more packs depending on how many players are in the tournament as well.
Well, yeah. Basically, it will just be It really depends on what's if we're talking about like local tournaments and stuff like that. I go forward after this. Yeah, usually it's like you pay for your entry. One or two things. It depending, like I said, depends on how the store runs their tournaments and how the player wants to tournament. Most of the time, it would be you pay your entry, you get a pack, and then a pack is thrown into the prize pool. Or in some places, you pay your entry and it's all for nothing. So both packs are going into the prize pool for a bigger price.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I find that reasonable enough to do.
But again, it depends on what Bryce pointed out. It's a choice. If you know that the store is doing it this way, then if you want to do it, do it. It's your choice. No one's forcing you to do it. Anything.
Because there's other stores you can go to that will have the tournament style that you like for how they deal with entry fees and prizes.
Yeah, I mean, and then hopefully eventually we would get for stores that are officially sanctioned with Bandai, that they would get
the promos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which means we can hope that you get the alternate art, like the Metal Greymon trial decks, Metal War Greymon trial decks. And I think the latest one was Rise Greymon Yellow was the newest one they have.
Sorry about that.
That's one of those things where it also it's dependent if it's a store run tournament versus like the official card games tournaments. Those are always going to be the higher ticket prizes, usually more of a entry fee. But I believe territory and stuff.
But I believe this morning they announced that shops can now officially run tournaments, I believe.
They can sign up to become part of the
Was it signed up to be
program.
part of the thing? Okay.
Yeah,
I
so
know that if it was like they're it's officially open. Run tournaments or not, but
no, it's
right. Never mind. Yeah, they upgraded their thing so that Digimon shows up now. He said.
Yeah, so that way, stores can reach out to Bandai to partner with them to run official tournaments licensed by Bandai. Because what my little time with DBS was, what I saw with the locals, they had to be sponsored by Bandai or licensed by Bandai to be able to run the tournament, so they can give out the packs. Since they give away special packs to the tournament for participating, and you also have to have your Bandai ID for the tournament, so they can keep. I get for DBS it was to keep track of points. I don't know.
I believe it's probably gonna be the same thing.
Probably.
It sounds like it sounds like participants have to have like the register numbers for
Yep. And then one big thing with their official tournaments is being able to win. If you win the tournament, you get that Altart promo.
But yeah, I guess it'll just be like, man, was it? I believe UBS gave out dash packs prizes, right? Or like, so like a promos or whatever for
I think that's what they were holding when they would show the winners in the Japanese players.
That's gonna be very interesting because our dash packs are so weird.
Yeah, our dash packs are definitely structured differently than theirs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and again, it's the nature of how they decided to go into the Western release or the global release, really, is just playing catch up.
I mean, I still hold on to the belief that like they planned to release this earlier this year, but because of the whole the situation that's happening, they had to delay it and they had to come up with a new way to us quick for it to matter for us still.
Yeah, and I mean, they're doing a lot to catch us up because I think I talked to one store a while ago, and I think it's the month after 1.5 drops is when pre-orders for them start for set 2, or our official set 2, which would be set 4, I believe.
4, yeah. Set 4. They're going back. So it's gonna be just like single base sets, but they're going to keep like the ratios the same. So it's gonna be like, what was it, 24 in a box with packs. So they're going to double it still for us.
Okay. Yeah, because I think even with us getting to set 2 by, was it May? I think it was, or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe
I mean,
around
they're
there.
also going to keep.
We're still going to be behind a bit, but.
I mean, they're also still going to keep it, but yeah, they're going to still keep it. I believe they're still going to call it set 4, like officially.
Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense because that would start to get confusing if they just called it set 2 for us, because that would make sense.
So yeah, I believe it's still going to be set 4, BT or Ancient Warriors or something like that for us. So
okay.
I mean, they kept the numbers for 1, 2, and 3 on our set 1 as well to help differentiate and show how like our sets are a mixture of 3 sets. So I would assume they would continue putting it as BT4 once we get That's it.
I believe we also get the trial decks at the same time.
We get the trial decks with 1.5 from what I've been seeing.
Really?
Well, because it came out with set 3.
Yeah.
they came out in set 3, so it
No, I
just
think
makes more sense.
no. I thought the new trial decks, the
No, they just released.
green, purple, and black. Yeah, I believe it came out for set 4.
No, it's out right now because
Yeah, that's
the
what I'm saying.
metal. Yeah. No,
yeah,
but
that's what I'm
set
saying.
4.
No, yeah, the trial decks. It was the green, blue, not green, purple, black trial decks, and then set. Because I believe that those trial decks are supposed to be coming out like ahead of set 4 release for us, I believe, or a little bit sooner.
It might be somewhere in that in between from set 1.5's release to set 4 release, because there's a good chunk of months between. Because that's what, 3 or so.
Yeah, from
May.
February.
No.
I believe they probably want to like take that gap there to make it so that they can run tournaments officially.
Possibly. I mean, so now, do you think we'll get the promo packs they were getting along with a pack for the structure decks?
I mean, they seem to be pretty well with it so far. I mean, if anything, it sounds like they might be us over here with magazine packs with the manga tie Digimon Zero in them, where it's like we get extra promo pack the box as a box up.
Oh,
So
I meant
it's
the promo pack that they got for their green, black, and purple structure deck.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They could easily probably put that as a box topper for us.
Oh, that's true. And then just keep it as just a pack for the structure deck.
Yeah, like still give us like still modified the structure deck for us to have an extra pack of whatever set that make those promo packs into like box toppers. Like,
Yeah,
because
I
think we're still missing some.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good model for them moving forward for us, because that just makes more sense. Because it's, especially with the price range for the structure decks, that's just a lot of value to get that extra pack for nothing really extra.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because they're being very generous with like what they have, what Japan players have to play or play, what they have to pay for a structure deck versus what us after shipping all of this stuff over and tax and all that. I think it's been very generous to stay around $10 or $11.
Yeah, not the scalper prices currently going on.
Oh, God,
50 for a red.
Oh,
I
man,
saw like 160 for 3 starters.
Yeah, no.
Well, that was ridiculous.
It's like we're getting them back anyway, so it's like
yeah. But I mean, it is what it is. We're just trying to make the best of what we got right now. And G, you said once this whole situation with COVID has calmed down, there's potential for tournaments to be ran in Vernon Hills, right?
I mean, yeah, technically our store's technically open. We just have a limited space, obviously. We're still keeping up to like 10 people that could be in the back room playing. But, you know, we're more than open to having like people come in play tournaments there regardless. As long as we're a bit under like about 10.
Okay, that'll be something to look forward to, and hopefully the store can also get licensed with Bandai to be able to hold official tournaments one day.
Yeah. That's my biggest hope.
All right. I think this is about to wraps it up. Unless there's anything else you guys want to add on.
Cheese sucks.
Alright, Bryce, you're just salty. Do we really need to talk about this, Bryce?
I ain't salty.
Oh man.
I mean, we can just leave it to tomorrow's matches.
Ooh.
Yeah, I guess subscribe to Mr. Beast.
Subscribe to Mr. Beast. Make sure I get in that challenge.
And then be sure to check out be sure to check out Card Fight Underground for where the tournament was held at. They plan on holding the store, holding onto the game once it's officially released. And shout outs to the Midwest Chief for also being gracious enough to hold this tournament, even with certain implications. Information about the stores where we go to for casual play can be found in the description, and link to Mogul Gaming also, since that's the Midwest Chiefs main channel for YouTube content, where they will also be holding Digimon content in the near future.
I believe they are planning to post some of the matches that we had over the weekend there as well.
That's right.
Shout out Digi-Chef for being the best purple player and Dark Master player in the Midwest.
Man, we're gonna.
Yo, look out for that. Look out for that Digi-Chef.
Okay.
That's self promotion right there.
Self promotion. I ain't Digi-Chef. What are you talking about?
No,
Okay,
but you're a
pretty sure
purple
we
player.
see you.
And you're. Oh boy, this is gonna be interesting to see what Khalil has to say about it. But all right then. So this is Shadow Tamers coming at you with the weekly talk, and plan on hoping to have future podcasts, adding more guests, maybe not letting Bryce be as salty next time.
Writing down what we're actually going to talk about a little bit clearer.
Yeah.
Maybe have a checklist. I don't know.
We'll
One
get
step at a time,
together.
right? One step at a time.
One step at a time.
All
For
great
sure.
podcasts starts
Right,
at the low point first.
True. Bryce, I think we should just cut this out at the last couple parts.
Whenever you say cut, I'll cut it.
Brennan.